What is going on, everyone? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. So, as you might know, we're kind of on a mission right now to find what the best bank is in 2020, and so far we've looked at Chime and Varo in part 1 and 2 of the series, and we've also looked at SoFi and Robinhood's cash management in previous videos. But today we're going to take a look at another serious contender for the best bank in 2020, and that is Discover Bank. So, if you want a full breakdown on everything that Discover's banking services have to offer, and how it stacks up against the many competitors that are out there, then be sure to stick around at the end. If you do get value out of today's video, then it would mean so much to me if you consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so that you can follow along with the rest of this series. Alright, let's jump right into it. So if you've seen the first two videos in this series, then some of the first features that we're going to talk about today will probably sound a little bit familiar, but as always, Discover Bank has a few tricks up their sleeve that are really going to help it stand out from the competition. So let's run through those quick facts, and then I'll talk about some of those additional features that I personally have not seen anywhere else. Okay, so right off the bat, Discover has no fees, just like a lot of the other banks that we've looked at so far, and that means no monthly maintenance fees, no minimum balance fees, no foreign transaction fees, and no overdraft fees, which we'll talk about later, but that's something that really drives me crazy about a lot of these national banks who typically charge $35 or more for a single overdraft. Now, on top of that, their savings accounts currently offer 0.95%, which is really good and comes in 3 times higher than Robinhood's cash management, which is at 0.3%, and a lot higher than the national average, which is currently 0.06%. And also, there's no minimum balance requirement, meaning it doesn't matter if you have $1 or $1 million, you qualify for that 0.95% APY, and there's no maintenance fee just because you don't meet a minimum balance requirement. Now, as far as checking features go, Discover offers very similar features to many of its competitors, including things like a debit card, peer-to-peer transfer payments, and a network of over 60,000 free-to-use ATMs that give you the ability to withdraw cash if you do need it. But the place that Discover's checking accounts really shine is in their 1% cash back on qualifying purchases up to $3,000 in purchases each month. So to give you some perspective on what exactly that means, if you were to max out that $3,000 on your regular everyday purchases, then you would earn $30 every single month for free, and that's $360 per year on top of the 0.95% that you earn on all of the money that's in your savings account. This should go without saying, but if you're buying things that you would normally not buy just to get that 1% cash back, then obviously that makes absolutely no sense. Now, if you're familiar with Discover's credit cards, then these numbers probably sound really familiar because these are almost identical to what Discover offers on their basic Discover It card currently. Now, there are more limitations on this simply because it is a debit card and not a credit card, so you're not going to be able to earn cash back on things like loan payments or peer-to-peer transfers like Venmo or Cash App, but earning 1% cash back at all with a debit card is amazing. And while a lot of competitors do offer cash back or other rewards of some kind, earning a flat 1% on all qualifying purchases is really amazing and truly sets this bank apart from the others that we've talked about. Now, we all know that one of the biggest drawbacks with these online banks in general is that there's no physical location that you can go to quickly deposit cash or just get a question answered if you need it. However, Discover is really coming out ahead with a physical branch, and yes, when I say a physical branch, I mean one branch location in the entire world. So good for them for making an effort at trying to have a physical location, but unless you live in or around Greenwood, Delaware, then this probably isn't going to be very useful to you. That said, most of us sign up for these online banks knowing that we're giving up the advantage of having a physical location, and while there are some drawbacks to that, I will say that that lack of overhead that these online banks have since they don't have those physical locations means that they're able to pass on these savings to the customers by not having any of those fees that a lot of national or traditional banks have. So yeah, it might be nice to be able to walk into your local Bank of America, for example, but you're paying for that service with your monthly maintenance fees and your overdraft fees, and with less and less people carrying around physical cash nowadays, the need for a physical branch location is just not there anymore, for most people. So if earning cash back and having a decent interest rate is important to you, then this is definitely a very intriguing option. However, that's not where Discover Bank features stop, and this is where Discover really has shown that they care about their customers and want to offer a slew of financial tools beyond the typical checking account and savings account. Now, you may remember that all the other banks we've looked at, I have had pretty good things to say about them overall, but as far as an overall financial tool, I've always had to give it to SoFi because they allow you to not only save your money, but also invest and borrow under one umbrella. And while Discover does not currently give you the ability to invest your money, they do have a slew of other financial tools that I think you're really gonna like. For starters, they have money market accounts, which might sound like an old and outdated system, but money market accounts give you the advantage of still earning that high interest from a savings account, while also having the advantages of having a checking account. What this means is you're able to earn 0.8% interest on all of your money, while simultaneously having free access to it with your ATM, your debit card, and the ability to write physical checks, which is another area that a lot of these fintech banks are really lacking in. I will also mention that if you have $100,000 or more, you can earn 0.85% in their money market accounts, but I'm assuming for the average person watching this, 0.8% will do just fine. Now again, to give you some perspective on what that actually looks like, if you had $20,000 in your account earning 0.8%, then you'll earn $816 in interest over 5 years, which may not sound like a whole lot of money, but this is guaranteed and completely passive. I am a little hesitant to use the word guaranteed since technically that rate can change, but that brings us to the next feature that Discover has to offer, which is a CD. No, not that. A CD. If you're not familiar with the type of account, a CD or certificate of deposit allows you to lock your money in for a predetermined amount of time at a guaranteed rate of return. So with your savings account, you can currently earn 0.95%, but this will constantly change and go up and down depending on where the Federal Reserve sets the interest rates and a lot of other factors. But with a CD, you can set a predetermined length of time and a predetermined interest rate and lock your money into those terms for that given period of time. And the advantage of this is you get that interest rate guaranteed for that period of time, regardless of where the federal interest rates are going or the interest rate of your individual bank. Currently, Discover offers a bunch of different CDs that are as short as 3 months and go all the way up to 10 years. And before you go and say that you would never lock your money into a CD for 10 years, first of all, the interest rate for a 5-year and 10-year CD are currently the same at 1.05%, so there's really no benefit to the longer option. And also, you do have the ability to withdraw your money early, you simply have to pay a small penalty. But that kind of defeats the purpose of having a CD in the first place, so if you're gonna open this account and put money in it, then make sure that you don't need that money for whatever the given period of time is. While it is nice to earn that guaranteed rate of return over a set period of time, you do have to have a minimum deposit of $2,500, but if you just have some extra cash lying around that you know you're not going to invest or need it to spend on anything in the coming years, then this is definitely a great option that can lock in a guaranteed interest rate. Currently, the interest rate on a 3-year CD with Discover Bank is 0.95%, which obviously is identical to their savings account, so I wouldn't do anything less than that personally, unless you definitely want to lock in that interest rate, because otherwise you can just keep that money in your savings account and have access to it whenever you need it, and you can still earn that 0.95%. However, if you're worried about interest rates continuing to go down and you want to lock in your money knowing that you aren't going to need it, then a CD is a fantastic option. Also, I do want to mention that they offer an IRA CD, which is the exact same thing, but it allows you to put that money in your individual retirement account. Okay, so those are the 4 main accounts that Discover has to offer, and that money market account and the CD options really do set it apart from the other banks that we've looked at in this series. I will mention that in Friday's video, we're going to take a look at Ally Bank, who does have some similar features, but Discover still has a few tricks up its sleeve that make them one of my personal favorites. So some of the other banks that we've looked at, like Varo, have established their own peer-to-peer transfer feature, which is just like Venmo or any of those other apps, but in order to send or receive money to someone, they also have to be on the Varo platform. But Discover has decided to partner with Zelle, who is a third-party peer-to-peer app that gives you the ability to send or receive money to pretty much any US bank account with absolutely no fees. I will also say that Discover's app is extremely easy to use and well designed, but this is one of those things that is kind of an expectation with these fintech companies, since your access and interface to your money is just through that application, since obviously they don't have those physical locations. But Discover is able to hang with the best of them, and their app is just as intuitive and easy to use as all of the other ones that you're probably familiar with. So outside of all of those amazing features, the last place that Discover really does come out in first place by far is their customer service. This is kind of a touchy subject with some of these banks, since Robinhood's cash management currently has no customer service, Chime Bank is slowly getting there, and SoFi offers pretty good customer service at certain hours of the day. but I promise you, Discover puts all of them to shame with 24/7 US-based customer service of friendly and knowledgeable individuals who are happy to answer your questions. I can say without a doubt that they are among the best when it comes to customer service, and I'm not just talking about fintech companies or banking in general. I mean customer service across the board out of any company. They are one of, if not the best. I don't know who trained them or who set up their system, but they always know exactly where to route your call or question and have you on the phone with a real person who is extremely friendly and knowledgeable within a matter of minutes, and they're always happy to help you and answer any questions that you might have. I remember I called them one time trying to get a small credit increase on my Discover credit card, and they ended up giving me additional cash back benefits and doubled my credit limit in one brief and friendly conversation. So at the end of the day, if you really value customer service and you feel like you might want to access some of the other options like a CD or a money market account, then Discover Bank is a really great option. And since I'm always advocating for having all of your financial tools under one umbrella, if you do have a Discover It credit card, then it might also make sense to open a Discover Bank account so at least your credit cards and your savings account and checking account are all together. As always, I strongly encourage you to open a few different accounts and try them out to see which one you like the best. I know this might sound a little ridiculous, but everybody has different financial needs, so it doesn't hurt to open a few different accounts since they're free after all, and they'll give you a fantastic sign-up bonus, which usually is $50 or more. So open a few different accounts, get that free money, and see which one you like the best. There are some links down in the description below for a few of the banks that we've looked at, so if you do want to get $100 or more for free and try out some different banks to see what you like, then be sure to click those down below. On Wednesday, we're going to take a look at the Mint budgeting app, which I've talked about a lot here on the channel, and on Friday's video, we're going to continue this series with a review on Ally Bank. So if you do get value out of these videos, then be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you can follow along with the rest of the series. Plus, I'm just trying to get to 1,000 subscribers right now, so it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe. With that being said, thank you so much for your time. I seriously do appreciate it so much. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.